Hey, how you doing? This is Tom, and this is Tom's Radio Room Show. And gosh, I'm ahead of schedule here. I said I was going to do this at 3:30, and it's 3:15 now. All right, good enough. This is TNT, this and that show, and we're getting a little bit of storm. We're going to get storms every day, starting about this time of day into the night. And let me stop for a minute and unplug this antenna. There we go. I have not been able to listen to shortwave much because normally the time of day that I get shortwave, if at all, it's dormant and lots of lightning, Boy, I heard a horror story the other day about somebody's house that got hit by lightning, direct hit by lightning. And man, what a mess. Anyway, I'm trying this new to me feature. It's called live streaming, I think, and on YouTube. And I normally do a hangout. And the problem with, hey, Glenn, how you doing? The problem with doing a hangout on the air, that's one of the many ways. There's three ways, I believe, now that you can broadcast semi-live on YouTube. One is a hangout on the air, one is streaming, and one is this new one, new to me, a live stream. And the hangout on the air, which I'm most familiar with, is good, but I have to have another computer running in order to be able to monitor the chat. Now, I see this one has the chat built in so I can see it directly on my screen. Whoa, that's to me, so far, so good. So we're just going to talk about things in general. I just did I just did a hangout on the air, and I realized, I was like, nobody's showing up. Well, unfortunately, I started it in the private mode. So that's just going to be a video out there with no participations except myself. So I thought, well, let me try this function, this live stream function, and kind of explain what I was trying to explain in the previous one in general, but not in detail. In detail, the previous one was about this radio, details of this radio. I had several questions about this radio. This is one of the few newer, nice radios on the market right now. There aren't very many unless you want to go real expensive. This is about $285 right now. And as I mentioned in the previous show, the only place I know that you can get it is ANON-CO. If you go back to my previous video, you'll see where I point to that website. But this radio has a lot of features, especially with this. I'm not gonna talk about this radio again right now. I went into detail for over a half hour in this radio in the previous show. So anyway, what we're going to talk about here is I need your help. And I really so far I like this. I can see the chat. It's got a black background, so it's easy for my weak eyes to read it. Let me see who's in the chat room. Let's see, we got Glenn, we got Mr. Lucky Train, we got Nick. Hey, Nick. Hammond Wolf, and Mr. Lucky Train again. Now let's see what they say besides hello. Hammond says he has the same radio, but German version. Yeah, I haven't done, that's why I'm here. I was going to explain to you or give you some excuses why I haven't done any shows lately. Yeah, Mr. Lucky, about your question, and this is kind of what this particular show is about, me learning this new live feature on YouTube and a Q&A and kind of tell you what's going on. I struggled with the PL880. I got one of the very first ones, and it was a disaster. Many, I mean, many of the functions were not documented. And the reason they weren't documented is because they didn't work right. And then I had a heck of a time returning that radio to the seller. He was a seller on Amazon. Gave me a bunch of grief about returning it. I finally had to go to Amazon. They stepped in and I got it replaced. I didn't get my money back. I got it replaced with a newer version. And it was much improved, but it still has basic problems. And I have that somewhere sitting on the shelf gathering dust. It does not work very good. My radio does not work very good in single sideband. So it's basically just a AM amplitude modulated radio. Forget single sideband on mine. Now, since that, I think they've made more changes, but they don't document that they've made the changes because they don't want all these people that got the bummers like mine to return them again. So anyway, that's all I'm going to discuss about that radio. Patrick is back. How you doing, Patrick? Yeah, now here's kind of my excuse for not doing any shows for a week now. I can't find any radios to review. And when I say radios, I mean radios that have shortwave capability. Now, I did not too long ago, I did a review of a radio like this. This is an under $20 radio. It's an analog tuning radio, very coarse tuning. And even though it works pretty good for a $20 radio, that's all it is. It's a $20 radio. So if you're interested in shortwave, if shortwave band conditions, propagation is excellent, you can use this radio. If they're poor like they are now, forget it. You're going to have to use a radio like this, and you're going to have to use an external antenna. So my problem has been for the past 3 weeks, I haven't found any radios to review. I found these, and there's a bazillion of these $20 radios, but you can only review so many of those. So that's why I haven't done any shows. Every morning I spend about 2 hours on eBay looking for either a Chinese radio or an older radio to buy that's not beat up or whatever. I mean, eBay prices now are just insane. I don't know what people are thinking, but they are selling them, but they're way out of my price range as far as a used radio that there's no assurance that it's going to work. I mean, most of the radios, and I understand why they're doing that, most of the radios are marked as is because you don't know what the buyer is going to do to the radio. When he gets it, he may break it. Anyway, so much for that. So I check eBay and I check Amazon and I check the local Craigslist. I check all those places for radios. I can't find it. If you have any suggestions, if you find any radios that you think you would want me to review, let me know. I typically take the money from I always take the money that I've earned in my Amazon store and it's credit. It's not dollars, it's credit. And I buy either radios or some kind of gadget to review on my show. And I just keep that going. Well, I've accumulated about $100 the past couple of months. I don't get a lot. And but I searched, I just can't find any new radios. I had a couple of them on my list, on my wish list. This is Amazon again. And Two Hands in a Radio beat me to the punch. And it's a good thing he did. He reviewed it, and it turned out they were a piece of junk. So I was like, okay, he reviewed it. I don't need to review it. Plus, it was a piece of junk. Then forget it. I'm not going to waste my credits on a piece of junk. Again, they were the low-end radios. What else? If you got any questions, let me look at the chat room. Woo, Mr. Lucky, that's a difficult question. What's the best radio on the market right now? That's always a difficult question because it really depends on what you want. You know, do you want, whoa, a little lighting there. We may go off the air here. I've got my antenna unplugged. If you want a portable radio, this is a good radio. This is a pretty good radio for a portable radio. Like I said before, I had a little nightmare with the Texan PL80, so I don't recommend that radio. For a table radio, back there in the background, right there, the Grundig 750. Again, the 750 has gone up from, say, 280 to like 325. 325, but that's an excellent radio. The older Sony radios, shortwave radios, are good radios. What else? The Texan small portables, like the PL660, that's a good radio. Another thing is Chinese radios, which most of them are now, at least the ones that are not astronomical, like over $500. Chinese radios tend to vary from radio to radio as far as the quality. Their quality control stinks. So I always advise everyone, if you're going to buy a radio that costs over $100, make sure you buy it from someplace that will let you do easy returns. Don't give you a bunch of hassle. Amazon is great for that. Amazon, if you have an item, whatever it is, an item, and there's something you don't like about it, you just get on their website, say you want to do a return. They send you a mailing label that pays for the postage. You put it back in the box it came in. You take it to the UPS, which is normally UPS, and UPS scans it in, and you get a credit right then. Now, if you send them a brick, they're going to take that credit away, but you get your credit right away. So I've had excellent luck with returning things, except for that one dealer, back to Amazon. So there's some you could choose from. Depends on you want table or portable. This one is a great radio, but I like table radios, and this one always squeaks by because it's got the remote, so they can act like a table radio. So you can set this someplace on a shelf or something, or back on your desk, and then tune it and everything with the remote. You can do everything and more on the remote than you can do on the radio. For instance, the remote has a keypad for direct tuning. That's another thing that I suggest. Whoa, it's pouring outside. I wonder if I left anything outside. I suggest that you get a radio with direct tuning for shortwave. All right. I think I answered that question, or actually I didn't answer it. I kind of avoided it. Let me see. Let's see. Yes. The Argos 12, I reviewed many radios that have MP3 playing capability. There is a ton. This is a $20 radio, and it has MP3 playing off of either a full-size USB or an SD card. $20. So again, this is a multi-function radio with a lot of functions, and you can take. Let me just see if I can do that. Where'd it go? I had a where'd it go? I had a memory stick right here nearby. Oh, here it is, right here. No, that doesn't have you. I have a memory stick, full-size USB stick, which I can illustrate that on this radio, but I don't know where it is. And the battery's not dead. It's off. On off. It's up here. Yeah, it should be right close by. Probably not. Nope, can't find it. I can't find it. And my SD card, I stuck in the last radio I reviewed, and don't remember which one it was. Stand by. Oh, here's what I was looking for. Here's a USB. Okay. So this is a USB. Is this? I have to label all my USBs. I got about 50 of them. Yeah, music, YouTube music. So I jam this in here, get lined up here, and I go to MP3 play. There's that one. Oh, volume. Okay, it's reading it. I think it's reading it. That blinking light. Oh, I just kicked the camera. Hello. It's also a Bluetooth function. I don't want Bluetooth. Hello, lady. She told me something, and I don't know what it was. Oh, I didn't have that all the way down. What a dip. Okay. Play. Now I've confused it. Oh, here it is. It's reading. There's a bazillion songs on here from the free YouTube library. There we go. It's finally read them all. Not the best one music in the world. Let me go track forward. Okay. See? Yeah, there is that function has been added to all of these inexpensive AM, FM, shortwave, multifunction radios. There's even some that are more than $20 that will record onto a USB drive. I mean, that is pretty terrific. I give the Chinese an A for that. So yeah, that's something to look into. Some of them don't have shortwave. They're only AM, FM, or some of them only FM and MP3 play. So I hope that answers that. Okay. Talking about, I'm looking in the chat room again. Talk about radios which take SD cards. Are there any which take SD cards to let you record? Yes, that's what I was just saying, Mr. Lucky, is some of them will even record to the drive, the SD card, for instance, what's playing on the radio, or it even has a little Mickey Mouse built-in microphone. I mean, that's one thing I've got to say about these newer radios is they got a lot of functions. Like this guy here, tons of functions. Now it doesn't have MP3 playing or anything like that. And they come in all sizes and shapes. And I probably have reviewed 50 or 60 of them. I was trying to find one. Oh yeah, here's a couple of cute ones. Okay, here's the two cute ones I've reviewed. Again, they have a little, where is it? Right there. Is that a card in it? No. Has a little slot there for an SD card. It's also a FM radio, and it's Bluetooth. It's a Bluetooth speaker. I think this was about $25. There's another one that has a light. It has a full-size USB port and the there's one of my cards. I keep losing these cards because I put them in these radios. Oh no, that's a dial. That's a dial. That's not a card. Where is the? Oh, this doesn't have. Yeah, it does right there. Has a TF SD card slot right there, and it has a light. And I think this one was about $28. and it's FM only. These two were only FM only. Those two are only FM. No shortwave, no medium wave. They are dropping the medium wave band on some of these little gadgets. They only do FM and MP3. All right, let me see what's in the chat room. See if I can keep up here. Oh. Yeah, the Argos 12. I know what you're talking about on using the Versa recorder. I have somewhere a little handheld recorder that I've used in the past. I don't use it anymore. I have another little gizmo. Oh, here is another. This is very nice. It's very high quality. This was sent to me by Retivas. This is an FM, and I may have a card in here. Yeah, I got a card in here. This is an FM radio and MP3 player. Doesn't record. And the sound quality, would you believe it? Look at the size of this thing. The sound quality is excellent on this little thing. Let me see if I can get it. I don't know, the battery's dead. MP3. Again, these. I don't know how my camera is picking up, but the quality of the music on that is excellent. Again, this is some of the free YouTube music, and I use this at the beginning as an intro to some of my videos. And I just, flip the button, pick one, and then I'll start my video and let it play for a few seconds, take it away from the microphone and turn it off. That's my intro. Excellent little thing. I reviewed this. This was sent to me by Retivas for review. Works great. Okay, let me get a little bit of iced tea. All right. Again, this was kind of spontaneous. I just wanted to try this live feature on YouTube. I played with it one time, and then I said, yeah, I need to get back to that. Well, I'm getting back to it. And look at it, it's working out good because I can actually see on my computer screen in front of me the chat, where before using Hangouts on the air, I had to have a separate computer. Okay. Now, as a matter of fact, let me look at the chat. Mr. Lucky Train, on your question about ones that have shortwave and record functions. They are not this one, but they're typically like this one. And the shortwave reception is just okay. And it's only okay. Whoa, bad storm. It's only okay when reception is good. Right now, you probably couldn't even receive maybe anything. Maybe if you're in the United States, you might pick up WWV and a couple of stations in the state, but that's it. I don't know any of them that are high quality shortwave receivers. It would be nice if they had it in this radio, but they don't. No. All right. I even reviewed one that was about this big, and it had a big LCD display. And I believe it was a touch screen. I think it was like $38 or something. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. But the shortwave reception was poor. All right. I think we're caught up here with the chat. Again, I just was doing two things today. I was going to try out this new live on YouTube to see how it works. So far, I like it. I like that over on my right-hand side, the chat. So it's on the same screen that I can see my camera. Excellent. But the video is backwards. Why they do that? So the writing here is backwards. So when I move my hand, it goes, I don't know, it's backwards. It's not like this is on my left, and on the screen, it looks like it's on my right. So it's backwards. I don't know why they do that. There's probably some reason. I just don't know what it is. Also, how is the audio? I do have a bunch of fans on in my room, in my office. It gets really hot in the afternoon in my office, and I have to supplement the air conditioning with fans. So you hear a lot of fans. So I don't know how good the audio is. Matter of fact, I see the audio is not that high, at least according to the screen that I'm seeing. So I wanted to try out this function. Plus, I want to try to explain or give excuses why I haven't been doing any videos, because I haven't found anything to review. And I could go back to review things like this, which these are FM radios only. There's a ton of these. This one, I did review recently of this one. Works great. Has a little telescopic antenna for the FM. Actually, it's fairly long based on how small the unit itself is. Works great. Has the one drawback is there is no obvious way to open it to change the battery. It's got a built-in battery, and you charge it with a USB port right there. So once the battery won't hold charge anymore, I guess you throw it away. Because it doesn't have any obvious way that you can change the battery. I just realized that. Oh, it does have AM also, AM and FM. Okay, so much for that. Let me set these aside. Give me a little bit of tea. Is there anything else you want me to talk about while we're here? I think I've accomplished my giving you my excuses. I'll reiterate what I said at the beginning was every morning I go on eBay and I go on Amazon and I go on other Chinese websites looking for radios to buy and review. And I just haven't found any. I've been finding these things, but you can only review so many of these under $20 or under $25 radios. I'm looking for radios like $35 or $50. Whoops, let's kick the camera again. $50 and up to $300. I don't want to go over $300. There are a lot of fantastic radios over $300, but that's out of my price range. Or old radios. I'm looking for old radios. You know, I've got over 200 old radios that I've reviewed. Most of them, I haven't reviewed many of my big mammoth tube radios, such as, let me see if I can get the camera to go up there. Okay, hold on, we're going for a ride. Such as that giant right there. I've reviewed that. That is a Collins 75-A4. It weighs probably 60 pounds. There's no way that I can now move it with my bad back, so it's there to stay. I've reviewed that. That's an excellent radio, but it sold for a bunch of bucks when it was new 25 years ago. And then I've got my little night kit next to it, a bunch of scanners, and my work's making me sick. I'll show you some of my other radios in my room. There is where most of my scanners are, over there. There's an ICOM behind the TV there, ICOM R71. The standard scanner, which unfortunately has died on me. That was an excellent scanner radio. So stand by while I put everything back the way it was. Oh, okay, went up in the air. So I still have a bunch of radios I haven't reviewed, but they're the big radios like that Collins, and I can't move them. Many of them are in storage. Many of them, as I've shown you before, are buried down in my workshop, and I just can't move them. I have a friend that has helped me in the past, but he's really busy. He's a handyman, and he gets real busy this time of the year with helping people with their house falling apart. So if you see anything on Amazon or eBay or places like ANON-CO, I just scanned them a couple of days ago. I didn't see anything new and exciting there. There's not that much new stuff coming out except the little stuff. And there's a bazillion of these. They're basically all the same. It's just a little different form factor. Okay, let me check the chat. Thanks, Patrick, for the audio report. On the screen, I see it has a level indicator, and it's like only like 1 or maybe 2 bars out of 6. And I thought, gosh, is the audio that low? But I guess it's not. Okay. To my knowledge, the Argos 12, to my knowledge, the 880 is only available on one website. Now, that's probably not the case. It's probably available on other websites, but not ones that I normally use. And like I say, it's on ANON-CO. They have a very good reputation. And I think it's $285 right now. And I've actually, the nice lady there sent me this one for a review. I didn't buy this one. She sent it to me for a review. I was going to buy it, and I asked her some questions about it, and she knew about my show. She says, I'll send it to you. So she was nice to send it to me. So I have to let you know that I'm a little biased because she was nice enough to send me that. But I've seen other people talk about buying radios from that store and having good results. Anyway, so if anybody else knows where you can get this, chime in. Yeah, I don't know what, let's see, who said that? Oh, Mr. Lucky Train. I don't know why it's reversed on my screen. I know it's not reversed on your screen, but it gets a little confusing. I don't know why they do that. It's probably something about in the industry, they do it that way, and I don't know. That's confusing. Okay. Randy, yes, the newer Texan S200, I'm told, is identical to the 750 back here. Oh, I'm going to kick the camera again. So I don't know if they've done anything to degrade it or anything, but I believe it is the same as this radio, which is a very good radio. I've done a lot of shows using this radio. All right, let's see what else we got. I thank everybody for stopping by. Now, does it tell me? I don't see any place. Oh, right, there it is. Okay, we got 14 viewers. Now, I didn't plan this. As I mentioned a couple of times already, there was 2 purposes. One, to try out this live streaming feature of YouTube that I have not used. And number 2, to let people know where I've been and why I haven't been doing any videos. And the reason for that, no radios to review. All right. I only got 3 thumbs up. Oh, boy, I am slipping. All right, let me see what else just showed up. Oh, 2 hands and a radio showed up. Good to see it. You know, I have to apologize to 2 hands and a radio. I don't know his name. I don't know his name. All these shows, I watch every one of his shows, and he's mentions his name, I'm sure, and I just missed it. So I need to find out Two Hands in the Radio's name and write it down someplace so I don't call him Two Hands in the Radio. I call him by his name. Oh, he's not going to tell me. Okay, that's all right. Okay. A Griffin is here. Hi, how you doing? Okay. Somebody said Bob. Who is Bob? Okay, I'll call him THR. All righty. I'm about ready to wrap it up. I think this was a success, especially since I didn't announce it. We've had lots of people show up, and I don't know how you get notifications. I think if you subscribe to my channel and click on the little notification bell when I do some kind of live show, I think you get an email maybe. I know Jill's in Canada struggled with that because he felt people were missing out on his live shows because they weren't getting any notifications. So he actually set up a mailing list. And if you wanted to be on the mailing list, he would send you a direct email stating that he was going to do a live show in an hour or two. So I still haven't got in a routine of doing live shows. This feature, this live broadcast or whatever they call it, solves my problem. My problem was doing Hangouts on the air. I had to use a separate computer to monitor the chat room and kept having to go back and forth between the screen that's showing my video and the chat. This does both for me and makes it so much easier. And I know I've already said that 3 times in this video, but I think I'm going to go this way. And I think I'm going to try to schedule weekly live streams. I won't call them Hangouts because they're not Hangouts, live streams. Because I really enjoy the feedback when I'm talking about stuff and people asking me questions, or better yet, correcting me. I make a lot of mistakes. An old man make a lot of mistakes. So I like that. Okay, Patrick said he got notification as soon as you open the chat. Well, the chat opened automatically. I didn't open it. It opened automatically. So that's nice. Oh, that's interesting. Mr. Lucky Train said he got an immediate audio and video notification on his tablet. So he probably has the YouTube application run on his tablet, and it's running in background, and it gave him an immediate notification that I was live. Pretty cool. Oh, please schedule for the cocktail hour. When is the cocktail hour? Again, this was just kind of spontaneous to see if I could get this to work and to do a show of some kind. I haven't done a show in a week. So that's why we just jumped on here and say, let's see if this works. And it's working very well. And there's always the question of, oh, he called me Bob. Oh, okay. I've been called worse. There's always the question of when, if you're going to schedule a show, when is a good time? There are times like Friday nights and Saturdays when the bandwidth gets bogged down on YouTube. And so you get dropouts and stuff like that. At least I do. So that's not a good time. Sundays is very quiet on YouTube, pretty much so. And during the week, and during certain hours. And of course, since my subscribers are international, they're all over the place. I looked at some of the stats and it said like 40% are United States. Now that could be 3 time zones. So I could start a show at 11 o'clock in the morning and it could be 8 o'clock on the West Coast. Then there's about 25% are from Canada. And then the rest, then there's about 12% from the UK. And then the rest are kind of equally divided. And they're all over the place. They're China, they're Japan, Australia, you name it. I've got subscribers from all over the world, which I appreciate you guys for subscribing. So coming up with a good time, a good scheduled time, is a struggle for me. Like I say, Friday nights and Saturday, almost all day Saturday, is not good as far as streaming. Day of the week, I would say Monday is a good day for me. And actually, I'm retired, so almost any day of the week is good, except when I have to go to the doctor. So I'm looking for inputs on that. Let's see what 2 hands in a radio says. I think YouTube settings under notification, you can get channel subscription emails when there is activity. Yeah, 2 hands. I believe if you click on that little bell next to subscribe, I think that gives you notifications of new videos that have been posted plus live videos. I think that's what works. I'm guessing, of course. Okay, thanks for stopping by, Mr. Lucky Train. I appreciate all your comments. And you're in Pennsylvania, so you're in the same time zone I'm in. Yeah, I've watched the Argos 12. I've watched his show. I started watching his shows. Some of them, the one thing, I'm not going to pick on him, but when people just scan the bands and they have no commentary, I get bored in a hurry. I don't know about you guys. I get bored in a hurry. So I listen for maybe 10 seconds and then I go to the next video. I prefer to people like Jill's used to, he doesn't as much now. He used to do band scans and he would tell you something about each station that he found, and he's very knowledgeable of the stations. And so you get a lot of information from him. He doesn't do it that way too much anymore. Yeah, like I say, he's on my subscribe list. When I get notification when he puts up a new video, and I generally don't watch them. There's another guy that I watch a lot. I used to watch a lot. I don't remember his name or his ID. I think he was in the Netherlands or somewhere over there. And he has done some excellent reviews, but he started to do these band scans, which with no commentary. And it's not my thing. I just get bored. And I could see, there's a number of people that are also running out radios to review. And like I said before, there are a number of expensive radios out there. My friend in Canada, Scotty has several very expensive, thousands of dollars of radios. Radios that cost thousands of dollars. He's got an ICOM radio that's really a piece of test equipment that, man, It is the beaut, but it's like, I think it's $3,000. Little out of my price range. The Argos 12. Yes, I have seen a number of comments about the replacement for the 750, which is the S2000, and most of them are positive. And most people have said they think it's just like the 750. But I'm trying to remember, there's a couple of great websites that also do radio reviews and don't do much in the way of YouTube videos. Ray Allen is one of them. Ray Allen does in-depth reviews of radios. If you haven't been on his website, do a search on Ray Allen. Tim Witherspoon is another one. Again, he does text reviews. He does a few videos, but not very many. But he's got a lot of details. Check those websites for the S2000. And you can trust those guys. They are excellent. Okay, I'm about to lose my voice. It's 46 minutes. Oh, it also tells me how long I've been running on, ramping away. 46 minutes. Boy, I didn't think it could last that long. And it's the only reason I've been able to last that long is because you guys have been nice and giving me questions. And this is pretty good. This is working out good. I really like this new format. I've struggled with hanging on the air, and that's why I haven't done very many. So I'm going to sit down and try to figure out a good time. I don't want to do shows when Jill's does his. I don't want to compete with him, which is, I believe, late Friday afternoon and late Saturday afternoon. And he's always on schedule. He very seldom misses a show. I can't remember. I think one time he had some kind of problem and he missed a show, but that's about it. Okay, Randy says he'd love to see more shows with IQ out of the SDR pan adapter applications. Okay, it's kind of beyond the scope of my mentality, but yeah, I'm really hooked on the SDRs. My SDR Play 1, I love it. It does require a computer, of course, not standalone, and it learning how to use the software to control the radio is a little bit of a learning curve, and I'm certainly not an expert at it. And the SDR Play Uno software that but is made for the SDR Play is excellent, but it's a learning curve. And it's got so many functions. The easiest one for me to use is HD SDR or SDR console. Those two are the easiest. The SDR console has a ton of functions, some of which I'm excited about, but I still don't know how to use properly. So I'll probably do some more shows on those once I figure out how to use them properly. Do I have it up here? No, I don't see it. The RTL-SDR dongle, SDR dongle. It sells for $24.95. Does an excellent job also for shortwave, VHF, UHF. Now the SDR Play does a good job of the whole spectrum. Well, I'd say from 500 kilohertz to 1 gigahertz. Does an excellent job. And there's on SDR Uno software and SDR console, you don't have to do any mode switching to go through the various bands. It's done automatically in the software, I guess. Okay, I'm losing my voice, as you can tell. Hey, Doug's Brett. Hope I pronounced that right. It's good to see you too again. I just did this at the spur of the moment for two reasons, and I've said it several times there, so some people will say, quit repeating yourself, but new people keep coming in, so I try to explain to them what I'm doing. This is an unscheduled hangout. The purpose was to learn this new to me live streaming on YouTube and to explain why I've been gone. And the reason I've been gone is because I can't find any radios to review. Pretty desperate. Oh, Randy, I have two Tintec 320Ds, of which I keep blowing or keep getting blown the front end FETs. They're very sensitive. I've sent one back to the factory for repair once. I've sent one to a friend over in Tampa who can work on those little SMA devices for repair. And one of them is working and the other one is got a blown front end again. So they're very sensitive to any static electricity, and blowing that first FET amplifier in the radio and stopped working. Plus, they never came out with very good, hey, one of my cats just showed up, software for it, compared to the software that there is now for these dongle SDRs. Oh, you have 20 RTL-SDR dongles? Wow, that's a lot, Randy. That's a lot. Marine electronics. Is that a question for me, Randy? I don't have any marine electronics. All right, Matt, UK. So I guess Matt's from the UK. Have you seen the new network radios everyone is raving about? I've just seen a tiny bit about them. They kind of remind me of one of my radios that it's a standalone radio, so to speak, but it's not a radio with a receiver. It's a radio that connects to the internet. And it's got a little 4-inch screen, and you can tune stations that are on the internet with it. And I did a review of that a couple of years ago, and wasn't impressed. Yeah, I have addictions to electronics and gadgets. I have tons of gadgets, which I've thought about doing more reviews of gadgets until some new radios come along. I do reviews of test equipment, small test equipment. I don't do any reviews of big Tektronix scopes and stuff like that. I just did a review a couple of months ago of a clamp-on multimeter that has a ton of functions. And at that time was only $19.95, and it was a clamp-on. That's the option. A clamp-on multimeter, both AC and DC clamp. Pretty cool. Matter of fact, I've got the box right here. Here's the box right here. $20, $19.95 when I bought it. I don't know, may have gone up. Multifunction, I think. I'm trying to remember the maximum current. Oh, 400 amps. It will measure up to 400 amps. Pretty cool. Go back and look at that video if you're in the need of a multifunction clamp-on meter. Okay, we're getting close to an hour, and I'm getting out of breath, so I'm going to call it a wrap. I thank everybody for stopping by and for the thumbs up. I appreciate that, and for the comments. And again, I'm really surprised my Amazon store is doing so well in the summertime. Usually it dies in the summertime, but you guys have been using my Amazon store, and I appreciate that. I don't do a Patreon account to get donations. I use my Amazon store. That way you actually get to buy something you get in your hands, and so you're just not giving me a cash donation. So at the under the description of each of my videos is a link to my Amazon store. It's just like Amazon, except I have a link to Amazon. When you take that link, you're on Amazon. It's not a standalone store of mine. I don't stock anything. I don't sell anything. When you go to my Amazon store, you can see the things that I have suggested that you buy, most of the things of which I reviewed. And while you're there, if you buy something else, a TV, some birdseed, I get a credit for that. I get a credit. I don't get any money. I get a credit. I use the credit to buy things like this little trinket here. All righty. Let me one more glance at the chat room, and then I'm going to go pass out. Well, there has been a revival over here. They are featured big, all the handshoes. Okay. Thanks for that explanation, Matt, about the network radios. I haven't got into that. I've just seen a few comments about it here in the United States. Oh yeah, Zillow software. I have seen mention of that. Yes. Okay. You don't, two hands in the radio, you don't know my email address? Well, it's TRRS73@gmail.com. Tom's Radio Room Show 73@gmail.com. So TRRS73@gmail.com. I'm sorry, you didn't know that. I should mention that more often. And I appreciate emails because a lot of people don't want to chat. They'd rather send me an email directly. And I understand it. Especially somebody that's just getting started and they've got some very basic questions. Fine, I'll try to help you. And send me an email and I'll try to help you. I've got a gentleman right now that I'm helping that is just getting into shortwave, and he's got some very basic questions which I try to answer. Now that's interesting. The chat window just disappeared. What is that about? All these nice things I've been saying. Oh, okay, it came back. I don't know what that was about. It just all of a sudden the chat window went blank. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up before something else breaks. Thanks everybody for stopping by. If you enjoyed the show, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll try to make up a schedule and do this on a schedule basis so that you know in advance, at least 2 hours in advance, when I'm going to do a show. Hopefully a couple of days in advance. Whew. Let's see what else we got. We got to come. You guys are just keeping me going, aren't you? Yeah, I don't know Two Hands in the Radio's name. I apologize. I know he's mentioned it, but not very often. And I don't know his name. That's why I have to call him Two Hands in the Radio. Thanks for everybody stopping by. Have a great day. Bye-bye.